So, you're out shopping for some champagne, and you can't help but notice that there's this word that just keeps popping up over and over and over again on every single label that you look at. BRUT. What is BRUT? Well, it's there to give you a pretty big clue about the wine, but what is this mysterious word trying to tell us exactly? Well, good news. That's what I'm gonna cover right here, right now. Hence, that whole setup that I just did. My name's Daniel. This is By the Glass. So before we get to what BRUT is, there is something super important that we need to cover about champagne and how it's made. Now, we're not going to go too in-depth here, but if you would like a more detailed look at how sparkling wines like champagne are made, then you can go ahead and check out this little video that I made about it right over here. Anyway, the main thing that we have to remind ourselves of here about the champagne making process is this little thing called the liqueur d'expédition. Basically, it's this mixture of natural sugars and wine, and this dosage gets added into the wine as one of the final steps in making champagne. Now, I know you're asking, why are they adding sugar back into the wine? Isn't that going to make it sweet? Well, it really depends on how much of that dosage the winemaker chooses to add. Larger amounts will obviously make a sweeter wine, while smaller amounts will be pretty much undetectable, keeping the wine dry. This is all up to the winemaker's choice and style and balance. And a single champagne house may make a few different styles, some with more or less dosage than others. So, how are you supposed to know which wines are going to be dry or which wines are going to be sweet? I don't know. Don't you think they would have come up with some kind of system? This is where a term like BRUT comes in super handy, because BRUT is just one category on a scale developed in champagne to let us bubbly drinkers know how much sweetness or dryness to expect. And just to be clear, when I say sweetness, I'm talking specifically about residual sugar, not our own relative perception of sweetness. Alright, so we got this dosage scale for champagne, and each category is defined by a range of sugar measured in grams per liter. Now let's start on the sweetest end of the scale. That's anything with 50 grams per liter and above. These wines are labeled as doux. And just for some point of reference here, your average can of soda has about 100 grams per liter of sugar, so yeah, keep that in mind when we're talking sweet.
That is gross.
It's gross.
All that sugar?
It's really gross.
What a powerful image.
What are you doing?
What did you put in the sugar? It's so good.
Next up on the scale are champagnes within the range of 32 to 50 grams per liter of residual sugar. These wines are labeled as demi-sec. Now, let's say you usually find champagne a bit harsh. Maybe a demi-sec will give you that lift and ease that you're looking for. Or if you just want something badass to pair with your Indian food or Thai food next time, demi-sec, champagne, all day. I wouldn't guide you in the wrong direction. I'm here to provide you with the tools to have a delicious wine and food experience. Champagne with the dosage range between 17 to 32 grams per liter will be labeled as sec or dry. Then, champagne with the dosage between 12 to 17 grams per liter will be labeled as extra dry. And now, I know you're like, dude, we're already at extra dry. Can we even get any drier? Is it even possible? Can we go further beyond extra dry? Well, we can. And we did. Because now, ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly the moment you've been waiting for. This is where we get BRUT! Finally we've achieved it. We've gotten to BRUT, yes. Any bottle labeled as BRUT is going to have a dosage range between 0 to 12 grams per liter. That's what it's trying to tell you. It's trying to say, hey, this wine is dry. I mean, beyond dry, beyond extra dry. You can't get any further. Or can we? Now, there are still two categories that are technically drier than Brut, but since Brut goes all the way down to 0, it's not that it's less than 0 grams of sugar, it's more about the window being more narrow. So anywhere from 0 to 6 grams per liter of residual sugar will be labeled as extra Brut, followed only by Brut Nature or Brut Zero, which really is most often zero dosage, but there is a range from 0 to 3 grams per liter. But Brut is still the most widely produced style of champagne, and this is why you see it slapped on almost every single label you come across. And one reason for this is because our societal tastes just trend more toward dry wines now, but another reason is because Brut still allows for the most flexibility while maintaining a dry wine, and this flexibility comes in super handy when you're trying to make a consistent wine from year to year. So there it is, the lowdown on Brut. Mystery resolved. And as an added bonus, these terms that they use in champagne have also been adopted by sparkling wines made all over the world. So you're not only ready to navigate the world of champagne, you can go explore sparkling wines from all over the place. But we are not stopping there, because the wine world is full of these confusing and mysterious terms on labels. So what else do you want to investigate here? What's something on a wine label that has always confused you? I mean, just leave it right down there in the comments, and maybe, I'll make another video about that. Check it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time for all of the By the Glass madness. Or whatever it is. I don't know. I need some wine.